Hell between Miraculous Gaming and Overdosed. First matchup going to be a ZVP played out on the Habitation Station map. I guess can now be considered an old classic, as it has made it into the map pool for a second season.
Yeah.
And we are in the game, and up here in the top left side of the map, Habitation Station, playing for his clan, which goes by the name of Overdosed. You have the purple Protoss player, Phill.
Feeling it.
And up here in the top right, playing for his clan that goes by the name of Miraculous Gaming, playing for Miraculous Gaming, yes, the orange Zerg player, Blueices.
Blueices. Sounds chill.
Yeah. Alright, so, I'm not sure how many of the people watching right now know Phil's style, but Phill plays much like my co-caster here in the terms of
a different
Sky.
race. In the terms of Sky, of a different race.
He takes to the skies and does not leave and does not let you have them back. So in other words, he plays Sky Toss.
Yeah, and this is actually a great map for Sky Toss style.
Yeah, and probably Sky Terran as well. It's probably very good because you have this really easily securable third, which really lets you get any kind of production like cannons or pylons or whatever else you really need, and also gives you those crucial 5th and 6th gases as well.
Yeah, and it's pretty good.
It's fairly close to your main as well.
Yeah, close by air as well, so it could be pretty annoying. Using like Sky style any matchup, I'd say, whether you're a Zerg, Terran, or a Protoss.
Yeah, and looks like from Blueices we did have that extractor trick first, so he decided to pump out one extra drone and then get his Overlord, instead of getting his Overlord and then getting 2 drones. He got 3 instead, which I don't know the math, I don't know which is better. They might both be equal. Again, I don't really know, and I probably should by now, but I don't, so it's unfortunate. And Blueices is going to be able to get in here, and he's going to see, okay, it's a Forge Fast Expand from Phill. So with that pylon on the low ground, Blueices is going to be able to confirm, he's going to be able to know he can go right up in the main base, check any kind of gas timings that are going on, and feel good about the opening of this game.
So are you positive? How do you feel? Do you really think Phil's gonna go Sky Toss?
I do. Okay. I do. Every time I have seen him PvZ on this map, it has been Sky Toss.
Okay.
Every single time. And we have Blueices. I'm going for the hatch first. Is he going to throw it on the second hatch? I'm not sure. He's reaching the 200 mineral mark. He's got a drone selected. And yep, looks like he's going to be sending it down to that 3rd base location. Is it the gold or is it the blue? Blue minerals. I think it may be the gold. Yeah, it's going to be the gold. Okay.
There's the gold.
So the scary thing for Phill here is with the Zerg player taking this gold base, there's a lot of potential for very early speedling aggression once gas starts hitting, as well as very fast roaches. Because roaches are they're decently mineral focused, but they cost a little bit of gas as well. But you can produce a lot of roaches with just a sliver of gas. So things could get really scary here for Phill if Blueices decides to put on some roach speedling aggression. Alright, double gases in the main for Phill, so looking to tech up pretty quickly here, but that's also a standard timing at about 21 as well to look to get everything going nice and crisp, where you can get your cyber core, you saturate both these gases at the same time, and everything's all nice crisp lined up timings. It's always good. Blueices already has a gas, so he decided that 3 hatch isn't greedy enough, that he was going to play 3 hatch gas then pool. At least by the looks of things. I'm not sure exactly the timing, but it looks like it was 3 hatch gas then pool.
Yeah. That's
alright, doggy.
That's what it looks like.
How do you feel about Sky styles on this map? Just in general.
Oh,
I know
man.
you play Terran, but I feel like they generally play out the same.
It's great on this map. I'm speechless. Especially as a Protoss, like, you could really abuse, like, I'd say, well, mainly Tempest you'd be able to abuse, but carriers as well, but you don't see, well, Phill does like the O carriers, so that's exactly what you'll see, maybe, but, when you get the gold right here, it makes this little triangle where it's really easy to defend as a Protoss your base with the Sky style. But the only bad thing about this map, it might be good for Skytoss style, but depending on what the Zerg does, say like what we see a lot from Zergs on this map when they're trying to break a Skytoss is some early Roach and Hydras, which could be very devastating to the Protoss because they do not have enough Sky units out yet, you know?
Yeah.
So it could be the backside to this for the Protoss.
And there's Phill doing his classic Oracle first, but we see Blueices, dude. I think he's already scouted the Stargate. Yeah, he scouted the Stargate way ahead of time, and he already has Spore Crawlers in each of his mineral lines. He's not looking to take any damage at all from this. He's looking to just be completely safe and prepared for whatever may come at him, so he's looking in a good spot right now. He's also got 6 links outside the base as well.
Sending all his drones from the natural to his gold base as well.
Yeah, that's an interesting choice. I mean, I don't mind it, but it's just kind of something we don't see all the time. And here comes a big flood of lings because that gold base has been up and
Doesn't have
running.
much to defend, just one cell about to be taken down.
Yeah, it's
Looks like he's not using
Oracle's going to
Oracle.
be forced back to defend. That's really annoying.
Yeah, it definitely is.
And, oh, shh.
But as you can see from all of Blueices' bases, it's actually well defended with a Spore Crawler in every mineral line and a Queen. Wow. These Zerglings actually doing a lot of damage. This Oracle not doing anything, actually out of energy, not be able to attack.
No,
He
the
might
Oracle
actually
has
cancel.
energy. Well, it doesn't. It takes 25.
Yeah, they might actually. Yeah, and
gonna
his
have
third
to
base is
cancel.
going to be canceled, sadly.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And Blueices cannot do anything. Or Blueices has really taken his Speedling gold-based advantage, which, again, he can use to make a lot of Speedlings very, very quickly because of that increased gold mineral income. Here comes the run by.
Is there an opening? Oh my god, no force field in time. He needs to.
Yeah, it was not in time. Too many lanes get in here. And Phill doesn't even have cuts warp gate every single time, so he can't make a sentry. He can't just warp in a sentry and 5 seconds later have enough for another
more
force field.
Zerglings getting in.
Yeah, and this is really, really
poor. Mothership Core doesn't have enough energy for an overcharges, but it's not going to use it.
Yeah,
doesn't have to.
It's not, yeah, it doesn't. You don't want to blow a photon overcharge this early if you don't have to. I mean, that's just a general Protoss rule of thumb. If you blow that, and then all of a sudden a ton of lings come swelling in again, you know, you're in a bad spot. But if you look at the workers killed, Blueices did kill 9 probes. Workers count 59 to 42. So Phill didn't take as much damage as I thought he could, but he really needs to saturate that gas on us naturally. As I say that he does, 1 gas in his main is also undersaturated with only 2 out of 3 probes. And he also needs to make sure to get this third base running, because these 5th and 6th gases are incredibly crucial here to a Skytop style.
Supplies are pretty equal, but in a few moments we'll see the Zerg start to skyrocket, and Phill definitely needs to get that third base up if he wants to win this.
Yeah,
or should at least stay in it a little longer.
Yeah, and these Hydras are going to be the biggest threat here for a while for Phill, and he really has nothing to deal with these Hydras, really. He's got a Mothership Core and 3 Void Rays, and he has an Oracle as well. And that's, unfortunately, that's not going to be able to deal with as many Hydras as we're most likely going to see by Blueices. I'm surprised to see Blueices not go for Muscular Augments first, because that generally signals more aggression to me. But he's just going to sit outside. Here we go. He's going to come up into the third again. Lots of cannons here for Phill. Lots of lings were thrown away there.
Needs those to finish.
Yeah, he definitely needs those. If these finish, Phil's able to take a nice fight up the ramp, I think he's going to be okay.
Because as we can see from Blueices, he's actually done droning up, so now he's just pumping out a bunch of units.
Yep, pumping out nothing but units. That's all it's going to be from here on out for Blueices. Nothing but units. And Phill, you don't want to lose that Void Ray, man. Well, you don't want to lose that at all. What the, I guess all those Hydras must have been stuck behind each other, but lose Void Ray nonetheless, unfortunately.
Gotta be careful, though. Those are very important right now in this part of the game.
Yeah, those are incredibly important, especially because Phill likes to start his carrier production incredibly early. So if he loses any Void Rays, it makes it just that much harder. And there's a lot of Hydras here for Blueices, all with the Grew Spines upgrade, so they do have an extra 1 range on them. And that Photon Overcharge is going to have to be used for sure. But there's a lot of cannons here as well, so this is going to be an interesting fight. Here we go, cannons. Dealing a lot of damage.
Oh, my Oracle down.
It's time warp.
And, oh, this is really working out for Phill, I'd say.
Yeah, that nice Photon Overcharge.
It's sort of bad he lost that Mothership Core. It would have been really helpful to stay alive. He needs to pull back these Void Rays as well. He needs to let those cannons tank the damage.
Yeah, he does. But I think Phill may be okay here. That's really good for him.
Oh, no. Man, no. The Void Ray gone.
This one carrier is not even out yet. He's only got one more Void Ray on only 4 hit points left, and this is really not good for Phill. He
The
definitely
Mothership
had...
Core really could have came in handy too, because it had another 100 energy for an overcharge.
Well, yeah, but the Mothership Core used the Time Warp on the ramp and then Photon.
Oh, it did? Okay,
Yeah.
oh, yeah,
like,
it did. You're right. Definitely right.
Yeah, so it wasn't as big of a loss as it could have been, and he's remaking it now. And there's the +1 air weapons on the way. Phill has his first carrier out now, and Aspire's on the way for Blueices, so looking to make Corruptors, but unfortunately Corruptors, not the best call. And these Lings, they didn't value their lives too much. So many cannons, man.
I know. He needs a mineral sink as well, though. I'd like to see some charge lots.
Yeah, but again, Phill cuts Warp Gate. He never gets
That's true.
this build. He just doesn't get it, which is kind of unfortunate because I feel like charge lot run bys would be really, really nice in a build like this. But Phill, pumping everything he's got into those carriers, he now has 3 out on the field, and Blueices has a pretty decent Hydra count, has about 20 of them with those 1/1 upgrades. And
He might actually be tech switching, as you can see on the production tab. Thinking about it.
Yeah, with that Spire. And an Infestation, but yeah, maybe for Infestors. This could also be for a very fast Hive as well.
And Corruptors as well.
Coming out. Yeah, lots of Queens coming out. Lots and lots of Queens. So I think he's looking to play Infestor Queen here, which is really, really nice versus Mass Void Rays. But Phil's playing Mass Carriers. So it's a little bit different.
Corruptors. Corruptors should actually be pretty dangerous against carriers without Void Rays.
Yeah. Yeah, they're definitely very, very scary. And there's the second Spire coming down, so he's looking to really start those Zerg Flyer upgrades as soon as he possibly can. But Phill, man, he's already got that +1 air attack finished for his units. He's working on that +2, working on the +1 plating as well. So he's not taking any chances when it comes to upgrades. Man, this is going to be so scary for Phill, though. All these Queens and Hydras and Corruptors that are just now hitting the field. This is going to be tough.
As long as he stays by those cannons, I think he'll be all right. He just can't, like, engage without those cannons.
Yeah, Phill
has
trying
a
to take
bigger army.
And Phill has 6 carriers out on the map. Here we go. Blueices is going to make a move now as he is maxed out completely. These Queens are going to be lagging behind for some time, though, unfortunately, for Blueices. He's going to have to make sure all of his Queens are here. That does buy Phill more time for more carriers, though.
One thing we don't really see that's good from Blueices is actually his creep spread.
Yeah, his creep spread is basically non-existent at this point. But here we go. Blueices is going to make his move now. Going to kill off the cannons. Here come the carriers of Phill. Are they going to be able to do enough? These Corruptors in their AI actually targeting the Interceptors, which isn't the best, but I think there's enough DPS to kill all the Interceptors, which means carriers do nothing without Interceptors.
Oh yeah, all these Interceptors are actually about to fall, I think. Just too much DPS from these Hydralisks.
And Corruptors. The Blueices is losing a lot, but he's remaxing almost instantaneously. It's not
That's
like
a little something he should have done earlier, is lure those Corruptors into the cannon range so they could at least, do some damage. He needs to bring these carriers down here to help these cannons out.
He's bleeding Interceptors, though, which is really unfortunate, because carriers are useless without Interceptors.
Yeah.
And I think Blueices may be able to take this game by sheer weight of Queen, Corruptor, Hydra. I mean, I'm definitely not going to call it yet, as carriers are very resilient and stout units, but it takes a lot to kill them. But I think
he could save it. He could save it right now if he went. I think he could save it. He just needs to.
Yeah, I think he definitely could save it.
But he's going to let it die. That's what it looks
like. There's not
like.
a lot of air units. There's not a lot of ground units here, or air to ground or ground to ground. But I don't think it matters. He's just going to sack it anyway. I think Phill realizes he has enough income for now, and he's on 2-1 now. With the area units, whereas Blueices is only 1-1 or 1-0 for his Corruptors and 1-1 for his Hydras and Queens.
Yeah.
Man, this is really tense. Yeah, it's really scary.
The Zerg might be maxed out 200 supply, but as long as Phill keeps this third base at the gold up, he could survive. I've seen many comebacks. Oh, here we go.
Here we go. One carrier is almost going to die there immediately, but the Corruptor's actually deciding to back out towards the rest of the army. Very smart. Nice transfuses from Blueices.
Oh,
and the
Void Ray's doing work. Pull that. Pull that.
Those are some really good transfuses by Blueices, though. All these Corruptors looks like they're dying pretty rapidly, though, and I think Phill may be able to hold this for the time being.
There's no DPS there's no Hydras left to destroy these Interceptors.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no Hydras left. Looks like most of the transfuse energy has been used. There's only 3 Corruptors left, and looks like Phil's gonna hold.
Yeah.
but 13 Corruptors are on the way, as well as 8 more Hydras and 36 more Lings just to tank some kind of shots, and this is going to be really hard. This is the second wave that Phil's going to have to try to deal with, and this is going to be the hardest wave. If he holds this, he might be okay, because the gas bank of Blueices has pretty much been completely used up, and yeah, as we can see, Cypher there does ping out those idle drones, which could be moved over here to this 5th base. Phill now trying to reestablish his 4th base. Oh, this is so hard. I think Phil's starting to make Void Rays though, and these Void Rays are going to be able to deal with these Corruptors very, very easily. And again, if he deals with this Remax, he should be okay. Here we go. Blueices is looking to make his move.
Here we go. Needs to pull those back just a little bit,
Yeah, Void Ray is charging up now. Looks like they are targeting those Corruptors, making very, very short work of them. You can see without the transfuse, those Corruptors just melt. And the big thing that made that fight so efficient last time for Blueices was the amount of transfuses he had with all those queens, but that time he didn't have any there. And you can see just the power of the prismatic alignment as well as the DPS from the carriers. Just so much damage coming out.
This is a game of switching between units. I think Phill needs to switch back into production of carriers.
Yeah, he does.
As you can see, because
now Blueices is going to start to remax on Hydras to try to, you know, use the advantage that Phil's making nothing but Void Rays.
Because when the Zerg switches into Corruptors, you want to have Void Rays that, because they do extra damage to Corruptors. They drop them fast. When they switch back into Hydralisk, you want to have the DPS to be able to kill them and fuck up their AI, and that's what the carriers are for. But Void Rays do nothing against Hydras, basically.
Yeah, they really don't. And it looks like Blueices is going to take a 6th base now. And more and more Hydras being rallied across the map. And this is going to be pretty much a pure Hydra Queen Remax from Blueices. And again, as you were saying earlier, you really need those carriers. But Phill has a really big Void Ray count, though. He's got 10 Void Rays. I feel like if he gets 2 to 3 to 4 more Void Rays, even Hydras are going to have a hard time engaging that if he takes the right spot to engage. Especially with all these cannons here as well at this 4th base. I think Blueices is going to have a really hard time dealing with this, but lots of upgrades coming in for him as well. Got that +3 flyer attack, as well as the 3/3 ground attack and carapace for those Hydras. So this is going to be really scary, and Blueices is looking to make his move again. Go back for now, waiting for these queens smartly. He knows he needs these transfuses. These are going to be the big linchpin of his attack here.
Yeah.
These queens. He's got 10 of them on the map, and he's taking yet another base. His 7th base is Blueices, so really just looking to take the map as best as he can. Going to lead with the queens, I like that. But Phill on 163 supply, this army's getting scarier, as well as he's got that +3 attack.
Attack's about to happen. Needs to micro those Hydras forward.
Void Ray is going to tear through those Corruptors, and here we go. The AI is looking okay for Blueices so far, but looks like no. There's too many Void Rays and too many carriers here.
There's too much DPS from these carriers.
Yeah, he's going to get absolutely slaughtered here. Is Blueices? He's going to take barely any damage as Phill. He only took a 2 supply hit there, as he was 163 supply before that fight.
Well, I think Phill really lost was a bunch of cannons, really, which were really helpful.
Yeah, which is what he wants. He doesn't care about the minerals. He cares about the gas. And here we go. Blueices is trying to remax on Hydra Corruptor again, but there's so many Void Rays here for Phill. I think he can just mass out carriers and be okay versus these Corruptors.
Even if Blueices does get to expand on Phil's side of the map, taking his bases, once Phill gets that, like, his max Sky Army, it's going to be hard to stop, and all those extra bases aren't going to matter.
Yeah, it's going to have to be, I can't fight this directly, I have to try to indirectly engage this, but unfortunately these Corruptors are going to do nothing versus this. And Phill looking to march across the map now and end this. I think he knows. Blueices does have a pretty substantial gas bank, but his mineral bank has been spent now. Which is really
camp the ramp.
Spires go down. Spires are going to fall.
Spires.
Yeah, no more Spires.
Pretty big position on the ramp.
The Void Ray is going to charge up, target those Corruptors. The Corruptors AI going all over the Interceptors, which means they have nothing.
Oh, man.
And yeah, this is really bad. There goes the entire army again of Blueices.
Everything just melting to this Sky Army.
Yeah, GG.
And that's actually a good position for Phill at that ramp, because all those Hydras are stuck on the ramp. They couldn't get past it because they're all just shooting the Interceptors and stuff. So it's bad positioning on Blueices' part for that battle.
Yeah, it definitely could have. It definitely could have been better, honestly. I mean, but it's one of those things where I think Blueices had the thought in his head where I have to go. If I don't go, I'm going to lose anyway, so might as well try to hold my main base. because then again, it's going to reset his tech if he loses that hive as well.
Yeah.
So I think he felt like he had to hold that hive at all costs, and he ran up the ramp and tried to take a fight, which unfortunately he took the worst end of, and he really didn't have a bank to work with at the end of that game there. So that's pretty much why he GG'd. He just didn't have enough of a bank.
Yeah, he let that Sky Army get too big. You do not want to get that let that Sky Army get too big, or you're not going to be able to purely take it on with just simple units. You're gonna need some spellcaster units like Vipers
And infestors, yeah, for fungal.
and like mass spore style. To keep those carriers at bay. You can't let them walk around or fly around wherever they want. You're gonna need a lot of static defense to help them help from not letting them go anywhere. Really.